Hello and welcome to 2025. Happy New Year. If you are a new viewer, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. It's just going to be a little short video. It's the 17th, 18th of January 2025. And it's my first kind of project update video for you. So yeah, let's get into it. It is a truth universally acknowledged that making provides benefits to your mental health and well-being. I find that to be especially true in times of personal crisis. Perhaps it's simply the reassurance of control in an uncontrollable situation, power in the face of impotence, creation in the face of destruction. On New Year's Eve, my husband's family suffered an unexpected loss. I found comfort in crochet. That's all I've done. That's all I've worked on is my crochet granny square blankets. And there's something about the simple repetition of clusters of trebles, of going round and round, of putting your hand in the box and coming out with a colour yarn where you don't need to think. That's incredibly reassuring. Someone I used to work with saw me crocheting a granny square blanket a few years ago, and she said, "Oh, you're making a not well blanket." And I said, "What do you mean?" Because I didn't hear what she said originally. And then she said it again and enunciated, "A not well blanket." She said, "When I went round to my grandma's when we were poorly and off school, she'd always give us one of these crochet granny square blankets to cuddle up on the sofa in. And it was a real comfort. It made us feel better. So we called them the not well blankets." And I think that's lovely. And they did. There is something comforting about a granny square blanket. The other thing I do is I cook. Making and baking is my love language. It's my way of conveying all the things that I wish I could say but can't find the words for. I talk a lot, so you'd be surprised to find that surprised to find that I am occasionally lost for words, but it does happen. So I'm currently baking Scotch pancakes or drop scones. Family are coming into town. As often happens at times of loss, the family come together. And one of the younger family members particularly likes thick style pancakes at breakfast. And we couldn't find any in the shops that really did the trick, so I offered to make some. So that's what I'm doing now. So there you have it. Crochet is the thing that has been giving me comfort at the moment. It's been a tricky start to the year for obvious reasons. So yeah, let me just dive in and show you what I've been up to. The Advent blanket that I've shown you. So this, I was already wanting to work on this before New Year, because in that kind of Twixtmas bit, you might have seen my stash video. I was organising and reorganising our bedroom and trying to make it feel a bit more like a bedroom and a bit less like a storage facility. And it did, and it felt bedroomy, and I was like, oh, I'm suddenly motivated to work on this blanket and make this blanket for our bed. And I've done so much work on it. So it's very, you may have seen this before. It's been going for 5 years, this project. If you're new, it's a granny stripe from Attic 24. So Lucy, she's a blogger and pattern designer here in the UK. Her patterns are all free, I think, and they come with great tutorials. The granny stripe blanket took the Yarny podcasty world by storm, probably coming up to about 8 years ago now, 6, 7, I don't know. It's been around for a while. And when my friend Marcus and I decided to swap advents, I decided that this was what I wanted to do. Long story sideways, got the width wrong. It's 7.5 foot wide. So it is a beast, hence why it's rolled up when I'm showing you. But I'm going to unroll a bit because I've put a little stitch marker on. Let's see if I can fold this back so you can actually see. There we go. Right. So where this stitch marker is where I was on about the 29th-ish, 30th of December. And I've done all of this. Now, each row takes me about an hour. So there's quite a lot of work that's gone into this. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rows on my granny stripe. I've actually finished the first giant ball, which was about this size, of Advent Swap yarn. And I've started another one. So I'm about to start and put the kind of greens and browns in there as well. Now, I have got no idea what the colours are going to go like, but I've made a bit of a decision. I was just planning on working through my advents and just adding all the marker swap advents into this blanket, because Lord knows I'm going to need it, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I've got 23 colours in here already, and it's only, what, a foot deep, and it's going to need to be 6 foot. So that's 6 lots of advents potentially. So I was just going to pop them all in this, and it will just be a colour adventure. However, even though there are obviously different colours in here, there's definitely a bit of a colour story going on. And my next colour that I pulled out in a mini ball, which actually must have come from a different advent swap that I think I've had a couple of people send me little advents over the years. And I think these next ones came from Kim. And it wasn't this one. Sorry. It wasn't this one, which is a nice kind of tangerine orange, but even so, it's a bit jarring. If I go into the ball and pull it apart, there's a red and yellow one, and there's a bright canary yellow, which is beautiful. But I was talking to my friend Lee, and I was thinking, actually, what I could do is divert the colours that I don't think quite work with this into one of my other crochet blankets, because I've got 3 on the go at the minute. And I've got an advent from Marcus. We did an advent swap. I think I've mentioned this in the intro already. But we did an advent swap and decided to make it a January advent, partly because we were both so late sending the advents because life kept lifing. And partly because, I don't know, I think I got mine to Marcus fairly quickly. I can't remember. It was late, but it wasn't like, I think I've been later, put it that way. But he said, let's just have something to look forward to. And I had my advent puzzle that I was doing, and he had an advent that Eva had sent him. And I thought, actually, just that sounds like a really lovely way to start the year. And goodness knows if we ended up needing it. So, because life is lifing. And I've been opening that, and there's a real variation in colour there as well. I've got quite a few of his self-striping that he's wound off minis for me, which is lovely. And then there's some others, like there's one from my friend Ellen, Callockshire Ellen, Mrs. Lamb's Yarns. And that's more subtle. I think that would go better in this one. So I said to my friend Lee, I said, I think actually what I could do is divert different yarns to different blankets. I think it would be all right. I don't think they all have to go in the same blanket. And so that's what I've figured out. So there's the first one. And that's how much I've done, which I know it doesn't look like much. It's a couple of inches, but honestly, each row takes at least an hour. And I don't often get a lot of uninterrupted making time. We get the evenings a bit now, but life stuff, it's housework. There's babies waking up in the middle of the night because they've had a nightmare, say babies, children. He's 3. He's barely even a toddler now. He's racing towards being a preschooler, which is exciting, but yeah. So anyway, I love it. And I've just put this bright yellow ice lolly stitch marker that I had left over from my stitch marker days. Gosh, my nails look horrendous. What has happened there? Ooh. Oh, I was cleaning the oven. That's what it is. I was cleaning the oven, and I've got it's showing up really badly on camera. It doesn't actually notice in real life. I'm just going to get the nail brush in a minute. But that's because that's middle-aged life. You clean the oven on a Saturday morning because... So there's that. And then I started with these bright colours. Having said that, having said I was going to divert the bright ones into this one, I haven't actually used said bright ones yet. I picked up my one. I say my one. I started in late summer 2 new granny square blankets because I haven't had a granny square on the go in a long time. And I love granny squares. They're quite comforting. You just pick it up, do a few stitches. It doesn't matter where you get to, especially as the rounds get bigger and bigger. You're not going to do a whole round in one sitting. So the leaving it in the middle of a row pressure is kind of off. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I've made quite a bit of progress again. Again, I have put a progress keeper on here, but I need to find it. But anyway, woo, there you go. So you can see it's nice and bright. I couldn't tell you what half of these yarns are. I know the one right in the middle is Dragon Hill Studios. I know that because it's a sparkly pink one and I've used it for heels, toes and cuffs on. Not the socks I'm wearing. I was wearing them yesterday. So I've found all the kind of bright highlightery colours and put them in this one. And this was going to be for me, but I've decided it's going to be like the guest blanket. So my friend is quite excited because she's planning on coming to stay again in the summer. I've just made my hair just go all fly away. She's planning on coming to stay again in the summer. So it's kind of got a tentative goal for it to be big enough for her to use, even if it's not finished, for it to be big enough. Now, there are ends on this one, but there aren't really any ends on the other. Well, no, actually, no, because I kind of crochet and weave them in as I go, as I start each new colour. And maybe I'll do a video. One of my things I'd like to do this year is to do some more tutorials on my channel, just the little 2-minute ones to show you some of the bits that I do and how I do it. So maybe that will be one. Now, can I find this progress keeper? That is the $1 million question. Ah, there it is. So this one I've actually only picked up in the last 2 days. So there we go. There's my red ice cream. Got my fingernails. I am sorry. But the oven, the door has come up beautifully. I'm so pleased. I only used washing up liquid and a metal scourer on the glass, and it's just middle-aged now, aren't I? Tell me what simple pleasures you get in your home. What's the thing that just makes you feel really good? I love freshly vacuumed carpet. Nothing quite like it. I love clean sheet night. When I get out there and clean the windows, that's quite good as well. Let me know. Is there anything that you just like in the home that you kind of get a little kick out of? Please don't leave me on my own in this feeling old and sad. But there we are. So you can see, again, I've made quite a bit of progress on that there. I wish I could just... Oh, no. Just have to forgive my fingernails. I'm so sorry. It's gross. I know. There we are. So, yeah, it's getting quite a size. It could easily be, if I lean back, it could easily be a baby blanket at this stage. So, but I have a goal of it being able to be used by guests, either in the bedroom or snuggling up on the sofa of an evening when we're chatting and watching films and things. I think it'll be nice. So where's my last blanket? My last one hasn't had any love on it yet, but it's about to this weekend. So I'm gonna get it and show you, because my thought is that I will do a kind of monthly check-in with the blankets. I said to Marcus, I don't know what I'm going to do. My entire podcast this week is going to be granny squares and granny stripes, because that is all I've worked on. My Boxing Day cast on with my festive socks just feels a bit frivolous, and it seems to belong to a previous time. One of the other big projects I was working on now no longer has an owner, so I need to figure out what to do with that. And yeah, let me get the other one and show you, and so then you can see where I'm at with all of them. And then maybe middle of February, when I do my catch up, then we'll have a look at these blankets and see how far I've got. It may be that I start to make other things now. I don't know, but for these couple of weeks, this has been what I've needed to do. Okay, so this one is going to be for my husband. It's much smaller. It really, really needs some love. And it's all kind of greens and foresty colours. My husband works for Natural England. He's also doing, turn it around the right way, he's also doing a master's in forestry. So he is a bit tree mad, as it were. And so he loves trees. And so I found all my kind of woodlandy, foresty colours. To just thrown yarn at myself. To put into that blanket. So it's kind of the trees, the little rivers and streams that go through them, that sort of thing. So this one, as you can see, does need a fair bit of love. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach to this corner here, which is where I am. I'm going to attach a progress keeper there so that next month when I show you, you can see the progress I have made, and hopefully I have made some. So yeah. So there we go. Those are the blankets that I'm working on at the moment. Ooh, could be a good thumbnail, couldn't it? Let's see. Right, and that's that really. I have cast on another flax for my son because I taught at Wool on the X on the 11th of January. I had a full day teaching, and actually that was really good. It was really nice to go and get back into teaching again. I've got quite a few courses there this year. We need to get some more dates in, which is exciting. And it's, do I have it here? Here we go. But normally I'd have knit a lot more than this during the course itself, and I probably would have almost finished it as well now because it's been a full week since the course, but I've not touched it. And it's nothing against the pattern. You know, I love the pattern. I absolutely love the flax by Tin Can Knits. Some of you who've been here for a while are probably almost at the point of switching off. You're so fed up of seeing them, but I'm showing them in different yarns. But it's, like I say, all I've wanted to do is crochet. I do have to cast on for my dad's birthday socks. I have to do that soon. I picked up this one on my way back from an MRI in North Devon. I had to drive all the way up to North Devon Hospital, which is a couple of hours drive, a good couple of hours. And on the way back, I was very near a yarn shop and fabric shop that I'd wanted to see. Stitches by Jane in Bedford. And so I stopped there and I picked up a treat for myself, this sprinkly stripy socks from Rico. And I just thought the colours in that were lovely. I'm undecided whether this will be my dad's birthday socks or whether it'll be, oh look, it actually shows you, oh see, I kind of like that when they do that, and I also kind of don't like it. I'll see if I can get a picture because it shows how they work up. Maybe these will be for Dad. I think they're quite fun. I think he'll like them. But then it's the 18th of January and my dad's birthday is the 8th of February. So I'm also thinking I might pull out one of my DK sock sets. I've got a couple from Pippin Yarns. I sent him one before and he'd lost them, and I thought, oh no, if I sent them to the wrong address. Turns out he just not unwrapped them properly. He was saving them and he was so looking forward to wearing them, and then lost them and forgot all about them, but he's found them. So I'm thinking maybe DK socks I might be able to do in a couple of weeks. I've also got my grandma's birthday shawl to finish and other things. So there will be lots of different things going on the channel coming forward. But for now, this was just a very quick update to let you know what I'm making at the minute. And it's all about the granny squares. What's your comfort project? Has there been a time, you don't have to share or go into detail of course, but has there been a time where making has brought you a bit of comfort as well? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.